doing? I'm up here in the Sacramento Mountains, the Lincoln National Forest over in New Mexico. Came out today, took the boys sledding. They did their thing, played in the snow, played with some sticks, built a small little fire, or tried to. And I don't even have to say it anymore. They're doing their thing, and I get to do my thing. Today I came out here. I follow the weather depending on where we're going. So I was following the weather here all week. Monday, it snowed about 3-4 inches, and all week it's been cold. Today's the warmest day. Right now it's like 33, 34. So to me it's not cold, especially here in the Southwest. There's another thing with cold weather stuff here in the Southwest is, yeah, the wind and the air temperature is cold, but if you are in the sun, like it's 33, 34, and I've been walking around, hiking, whatever you want to call it, kit rucking around for a little bit, but I'm sweaty, being in the sun primarily. It's hot. Standing here in all dark color, all green, it's hot. You might wonder why I'm in this. These are Cuban Amoeba camouflage cammies. The reason I wore this, sorry, we're at like 9,400 feet or something. It just takes the wind out of you, especially when you got all this fucking gear on. But yeah, so I'm wearing the Cuban Amoeba camouflage with my Irish DPM, Nymoller belt kit and chest rig, and the my medium US issue Alice with the woodland cover on it. I just wanted to see. I didn't know how much snow there was going to be. I didn't know if it was going to have been melted because of how little it was and how it had kind of was cold and then warmed up throughout the week. And then just driving here, like looking at it, I said to Sarah, I was like, because I was thinking it still would kind of be a little greener, like it was when we were here a couple weeks ago in the fall. Well, it's now winter. I know it contrasts quite. The green is quite bright, but I'm just wearing it to test it out, see how it looks, see how it performs in this weather environment. And I have my Snow-White pack cover and my freaking Overwhite jacket, whatever, Overwhite top, a white watch cap beanie balaclava, and my gloves, my fingerless and then mitten gloves. So I have that all in the Alice, but like I said, it's warm in the sun here, and there's no real need. And like layer wise, dude, I'm wearing camis. I'm wearing my camis and a t-shirt and the cap, like a normal cap, not like a winter cap, because it's warm in the sun and I don't want to overheat. That's the number one. It's another part, a little bit of the video I wanted to make was that's layering. People talk about, oh, cold weather, it's winter time now. You gotta have to layer properly. Layer properly for your body chemistry. However, because if you get hot really quickly, like I do, like I get fucking hot. We're just putting a ruck on and rucking, my back gets hot. It's just the way it is. But out here, 33 degrees. If I have underwear on, long underwear on, or like a fleece or something with this, I'm gonna overheat. So like I have a grid fleece and some long john bottoms. So what my full kit I have is enough right now for 3 days because there's snow on the ground. I have 2 1-quart squares in the belt kit, and a 1-quart canteen with a canteen cup and an insulated cover in the Alice. So I have 3 quarts, 3 canteens. With the snow on the ground, I can just melt and purify as I go. However much I want. Food wise, I have enough food for right now 3 or 4 days. So really all I have to do is add more food and maybe a spare pair of skivvy, like underwear. And I mean, I'm good to go for a week plus at least with the gear I have. And the only real cold weather layers I have are long john bottoms, a grid fleece top. I have my Overwhite top, which isn't really insulated, but it's just another layer, and I have Gore-Tex bottoms, woodland bottoms. So those are the only layers I brought with me. The nights have been getting into the low 20s, 2022. For gear in the ruck, for winter time gear, I have my woodland poncho. I have my woodland poncho, my woodland bivy sack, my Rhodesian sleeping bag, which using it in this environment would be kind of just testing it out. It's rated for like 40-ish. It's rated for like 40-ish. I've never taken it into a cold weather environment like this and actually tried it out, so it could be better than 40. So I have a sleeping bag, bivy bag, for ground, because it's a very thin layer of snow. A lot of the places where you could make a shelter here, there's almost no snow on the ground. I cut some pine boughs down, lay the pine boughs down, bivy sack with the sleeping bag in it. I'll make a low tarp shelter with the poncho, low, really low, keep the air in. And in this instance, I wouldn't even, you know how like on a tarp shelter, you generally tie down put ties on the four corners and you tie them to something. In this, I would make it low enough that I would just literally stretch the poncho out over the guideline, the paracord, and just weigh it down with some sticks, with some logs, straight to the ground, so that there's no airflow underneath. You could take some pine boughs or just some sticks and put some pine boughs against it on one end, just to kind of close it up, because there's not a lot of leaves here, like there would be back east or somewhere farther north where there's, you know, deciduous trees that leave a ton of leaf litter. I have the food, water. I have my med kit, binos. I got my camouflage veil, scrim, whatever you want to call it. I have all of that. That little emberlit stove that I've talked about that I carry, because I have a little can of sterno, so it doesn't make flame or smoke if you want it to be tactical. But it also just burns wood, and it keeps it kind of direct. So like I could put that at the entrance of the tarp shelter and have it going with sticks, and you know it won't go crazy and it won't throw sparks and embers towards your shelter really. And you can make a reflector with put a stick in the ground. The ground isn't completely frozen right now. You put a stick in the ground, use your I have an e-tool with, I have my e-tool with me, so I use that. Bang one stick in the ground, just stack a bunch of bang one stick in the ground at an angle, stack a bunch of sticks up about 18 inches on top of each other, so they're just stacked on top of each other, but they kind of create a wall. And then you, as a reflector, right at the entrance of your shelter, and like I would put that little stove, and it would help reflect the heat, even though the fire in that stove is somewhat contained size wise. And that's what I would do. Now, is it tactical? Not necessarily. Those are some bushcraft techniques and skills. Like one of the reasons I wouldn't tie it down for a tactical reason is if you had to E&E or leave really quick, all you got to do is just grab your poncho and go and pick it up. And the snow and the sticks that you put on the edges of it just come right off of it. And all you're gonna do is pull your little slip knot on your guy line. Guy line comes down, boop, boop, boop. See, most of the time when I make a guy line, I kind of loop it around each other, so that if it's not tied on one end and tied on the other end, and I have to untie two ends, I'll loop it around the trees and do a slip knot. And so it's two lines instead of just one line. And that way I just pull the slip knot out, and I mean, I could just walk and keep walking and just pull the whole piece of paracord from around the trees. But yeah, that's my winter setup right now. And so I have the overwhites. I didn't know how snowy it was going to be up here. So I have the overwhite. Don't know how snowy it was going to be up here. I could put the pack cover on if I wanted to. I could put the overwhite on. The issue with it, I don't know if you can see, but in a lot of the places where it gets direct sunlight, the snow's melted. So even if I put on the overwhite, had the chest open, and had my pack with the pack straps on, you know, the overwhite's covering this, but this was exposed, the rifle's exposed, and like the pack straps in the frame are green, they're exposed, they're not covered with the pack cover. It wouldn't break up your image, it's not silhouette, but it wouldn't break up your image as a white blob enough to not be like, "Ugh, that's a white blob," as opposed to like, even if I think I wore if I wore the fucking tundra camouflage, the Arctic tundra camouflage right now, I'd be way too hot. But two, that itself is too white. And so that's why I kind of was thinking, like, that's why I brought the overwhites, because if it was like a lot of snow still, I would have put that on over this. Caveat back to what I said, I'm just testing this out. I know it's bright, the contrast compared to the other greens. Honestly, the Cuban gray lizard would have probably been a better foreign camouflage to test out in this. I mean, I've already brought it up here, but like in a snowy environment where the snow is melting, but there's not a lot of leaves and stuff. So, and all the kit I brought out a full kit today because I just wanted to carry it all and see it all. So like this, I got my comms, I got my Baofeng with me, spare batteries. I've got my rangefinder, my nods. I've got my Garmin 701. And I got my rangefinder and the Garmin from Brownells. I got this from Brownells. So I'm just trying to utilize it all, culminating as a kit. I'm using my 3-line kit, line 1, line 2, line 3. And yeah, like I said, I do a lot of this to just test kit and camis out, see how it works out. I don't like the Alice pack with the 9 molar belt, because the 9 molar belt, it's not a butt pack, but it has this lower back little pouch where like I wouldn't even need to, I just forgot. Well, I kind of forgot. I wouldn't even need to put pine boughs down. I have the solo emergency bivvy. So I could actually just lay that on the ground and then put my Gore-Tex bivvy with the sleeping bag on top of it. Just remembered. That's what I'm saying. Got to put all this kit together and I'm just testing it out. And another thing, a piggyback off of my video about the winter consideration for batteries, what I've done is, I know this is exposed. I could take it off and like tuck it in here, right? My comms is right next to my body. The extra comm battery is right next to my body. The batteries for my spare batteries for this, for my nods, and for my rangefinder are all in their little waterproof tubes, freaking right up against my body warmth. And like if I were to go to sleep in my bivvy, I would probably take, I have a small camouflage bag. I think I've talked about it before. With my 3-line kit, I carry a little toiletry bag, toilet paper, baby wipes, Bravo Sierra wipes, paper towels, just like garbage bags in case if you want to carry out your shit, whatever. But just I have that. And what I think I would do is I'd probably, and that's all in a big gallon Ziploc inside the camouflage bag. I would just take the toiletry Ziploc bag and put it in my bruck, and I'd take all the batteries and the battery powered items, put them in that bag, and then put it like in the sleeping bag with me, next to me, potentially even under, well no, that would, with the comms, it would be uncomfortable to lay on top of it. Put it in the sleeping bag next to me and just kind of hug the bag while I sleep. So yeah, so this is a full, probably, if like I said, if I had some more food and an extra pair of underwear, at least a week with all this kit. It's supposed to be staying this temperature for at least a week. So it's gonna get cold at night, but it's not terrible. You know, and like I said, I'm hot. I'm not wearing gloves. I don't need to be wearing gloves. My rifle is not cold. So the personal gear considerations when it comes to cold weather things, how many layers do you actually need? And do you need to carry with you? That's why weather assessment, understanding your weather patterns in your areas, because you don't want to be carrying fucking extra layers when you're not going to need them. Oh no, I got a little chilly last night. Yeah, but you only got a little chilly last night. It's not like you were going to freeze to death, or you got hypothermia, or you got frostbite. It was just chilly. I would rather just be a little chilly at 1 or 2 in the morning than be carrying 2 or 3 extra things of layers to maybe wear, which I know I won't be wearing in the sun during the day. If that makes sense. So yeah. So layer appropriately for your, I don't know what the proper terminology other than body chemistry is. If you're hot blooded, and I don't get cold easily. My hands, I don't really ever wear gloves in the snow. Brought my gloves. I only ever really wear gloves in the snow when it's actively snowing. So yeah, so battery management, like my last winter video I did, keep them close to your body, sleep with them. Layering management, layer what's comfortable for you, what you're comfortable wearing and carrying, right? So there you go. I'm gonna head down this canyon, cut across. There's another canyon right over, a little up and then into the canyon and then back over there, and I'll be good to go. So, all right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, I gotta go. All right, you guys have a great day.